You will begin with the opening statement from head coach Jim Tressel.
Well, it was a great football game, and we have to tip our cap to the young men from the United States Naval Academy. We knew they would fight to the last play, and they did just that. We gave them a little help along the way in that fourth quarter and did some things that obviously you wish you could have back. As I look back, I certainly should have kicked the field goal on 4th and 1, which was a huge mistake in my mind. And of course we didn't make the 4th and 1, and it made it a bigger mistake. And then of course we had the long play against us and a missed extra point and all the rest, threw an interception. So it wasn't a dazzling fourth quarter for us by any means, but that does not take away from the play of Navy. You know, they're great kids that play hard and have great class, and I told our guys, I said, you'll remember this day for the rest of your life. It will remind you how proud you are to be an American, to compete against folks like that, and know that our country is in their hands in the future, and the pageantry and the electricity and the excitement and obviously the game. And but we've got a lot to do to get better, and that's what life is all about, is studying the film and working to get better and understanding the things that it takes to be successful. And our guys, I promise you, our guys prepared extremely hard to get ready for this football game, and they'll prepare extremely hard to make sure we get better the next time we take the field.
Coach, all the preseason, all the camp, as you approach today, as it's over now, is this, how did it compare to what you thought your team was going to look like today? In other words, going into the game, your perception of your team, and then after the game, as you kind of reflect on it right now.
There were some moments that I thought our team looked just like we'd hoped and did some great things, and then there were some moments where, you know, we did some things that I had hoped we wouldn't. But you know, they played hard. I never saw them stop playing. Competed hard. They were playing against folks that competed hard, and you know, we were put right up against it, which is always healthy. You know, so you know, we've got a lot of work to do. We knew that, and our guys won't shy off that.
Two questions, Coach. Did you wonder at some point how's this ever going to sustain us against USC? And was one of the bright spots the return and the speed? It was a roll and took it back on the 2-point.
On the 2-point, yeah, the Brian roll.
Yeah.
He did have a little speed there. He downshifted there when that QB had the angle on him, and you know, obviously that was good to see. But we still needed to get the onside kick. So I mean, I wasn't breathing that easy, you know, at that point. As far as was there ever a time where I reflected forward to the next week's game? No.
Well, thinking now, is this the
kind of
effort that will win this?
Effort? Yeah.
Effort.
I don't concern myself with our guys' effort. Our guys gave excellent effort to prepare, to come into the game. You know, we're going to need to get much better. You know, we know that, and our guys will be willing to go for it, though.
Jim, could you assess Terrell's day? It looked like he had a pretty good day up until the interception. And just how much of a damper does that put on his overall performance today?
Well, I know when you're a quarterback, that really puts a damper on how you feel about your performance. As I look at it, it's one of the plays. And, you know, it's a big play that you can learn from. And, you know, we always talk about, you know, we like the ball delivered to the numbers are lower, because if accidents happen, they usually fall on the ground. And if accidents happen above the numbers, you know, they're problems. But I thought all in all, Terrell did some very good things. It's going to be fun to study his footwork. It's going to be fun to study all of the various things that are a part of playing that position and the decisions you make and so forth. But I thought he, you know, threw the ball well, and I thought he made good decisions. You know, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of things that we evaluate that we need to do better. But knowing the kind of competitor he is, I'm sure that interception, you know, will damper his thinking of his performance. But what we have to do is get to the point where we evaluate each play independently, and you know, and you learn a little bit the impact, you know, of mistakes. But I thought all in all, he did quite well.
Jim, you mentioned wishing you had gone for the field goal on 4th and 1 there. Can you go into a little more what your thinking was in the moment there to go for it on 4th down?
You know, probably let the emotion of wanting to score and, you know, wanting our offensive guys to, you know, to knock a hole in it, get the best of me. And, you know, when we didn't make it, what went through my mind? I was hoping the next voice on the phone wasn't Gene Smith's. Because, you know, it was a poor decision. And, you know, it might not have looked as poor at the moment. The thing I said to our guys, I said, you know what? We didn't put it to 3 scores. And that was a poor decision on my part.
Coach, Tressel looked like he had, you know, Mike Vick with his eye black. Just kind of, what did you think about that? And
I'm not tall enough to see his eyebrows or whatever. I don't know what he had on there.
Well, he did. And
Oh, did he?
Any thoughts about
No thoughts. Didn't know.
And then injuries, the Deere looked like he came off, and then Boom, after the touchdown, looked like he came off limping, and then he didn't look like he had the burst on the 3rd and short, and then 4th and short, which you mentioned, you know, anything like that.
I don't know. I haven't seen the trainer yet. But I think Boom had a pretty good burst on that run on the last drive where we, you know, put the game away. He exploded pretty good. I don't know if he had a cramp or, I don't know. What was the other one you mentioned?
Deere.
Oh, Deere. I think he had a little ankle or something. I don't know. I don't know if he played much at all, did he? Didn't seem like it.
Jim, any of the pageantry or any of the extra things that took place off the field, did that ever distract you, think, either your team or your players or the game as a whole?
Oh, I'd like to think it did not, you know, because that's, you know, that's part of college football. You know, we're one part of it, but, you know, there are a lot of other parts of it. The pageantry, the band, and Chris Spielman and his family out there, and the soldiers being recognized, and all those things. They're every bit as part of that afternoon as we were. And so, you know, we allowed that to distract us. I'd be surprised. It was an honor being, you know, a part of all that.
Coach, you had 3 turnovers there in the 4th quarter that kind of sealed it for you. Talk about how big it was for your defense to step up, make those plays, and seal the victory for you.
Yeah, our defense did a great job, especially we came right out after half and got field position, and then we didn't cash in, which was very disappointing. You know, but our defense did come up with, you know, with turnovers, which, you know, we didn't quite have the cash in mode that I would have liked to have had off those turnovers. You'd like to score 7-pointers every time, but you know, I thought our defense played hard. That's a tough offense to get ready for. I thought their kid is a good thrower. I thought he threw some good balls in there, and you know, it was a hard-fought ball game, and coming up with those turnovers was huge.
Jim, a big challenge next week, USC coming here in that game. Just your thoughts on that, and having to prepare for a Navy team, an offense you'll never see again the rest of the season, does that put you behind the 8 ball a little bit because you had to train so long for something that you're really not going to see it again?
You know, it was the schedule, and in my opinion, it probably was good for us. You know, to have to really get focused in on something, you know, so different, you know, so totally unique to this game. You know, if you didn't prepare for that offense, you really would have been in trouble. You know, so I think it was a good thing. You know, as far as the thoughts on next week is that, you know, our job is to get better, because we know the team coming in next week is a great football team. It's going to be an exciting moment in this stadium, and you know, you sit back and you think, you know, how fortunate are we? We have a day like today, you know, with this kind of situation, and we're going to, next Saturday night, you know, it's going to be special. So our task is to get better, make sure we're up, you know, up for the challenge.